Games ahead. We've got 2 NBA single player props. We've got 2 same game multis. Let's get into it.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
Okay. So, most recently, we actually had our first losing day for the season. Quite disappointed, really, but let's do a little bit of accountability before we get into today's episode. We went 1 from 4 yesterday with our only player cashing as Joel Embiid over 28.5 points at $1.86. Took our season record to 6 and 5 on props, still in the positive, but nothing to brag about. With our same game parlays, 3 and 6, we're only 5.8 units ahead. Total so far for the season just under 6 units, but close to a 20% return investment. So we're still looking very juicy there, boys. So T has sent me in 2 different videos for his player props. So you get to be seeing a whole lot of me. But we've only got 6 games for this upcoming slate, which makes it a little bit easier to dive into them. So let's not waste your time and let's get into this one. Obviously, by the thumbnail, someone's picking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that someone is me. So I'm looking to take SGA, looking to take his points line. We're looking at over 29.5 points for SGA. And firstly, looking at last season, he covered this line in 47 out of his 70 games. That's a 64% hit rate. The odds indicate that there's a probability that he hits this at 54% of the time. So we have a 10% edge in terms of value. Last year against Denver, he played all 4 games, averaged 32.5 points per game, and he covered this line in 3 of those games. He's playing a similar number of minutes this year, which is good. He's got a slight uplift in his shot attempts, believe it or not. In terms of team changes, Chet Holmgren's probably the only major change to their team, but he's only averaging 8 shot attempts per game. So SGA's scoring potential hasn't been impacted whatsoever. Loving this line on over 29.5 points. The next one, moving into our same game parlay, depending on where you're from, or our same game multi. I'm looking at Trae Young, who's a little bit cold at the moment. When I say cold, it's because he's not playing that well. Let's be honest. He's not. Look, if I had his stat line in any league that I've played in, I'd be laughing. But Trae Young has got a very high bar for himself statistically. He's averaging 20.5 points, 2 rebounds, and 10.5 assists so far this season. But he is racking up 5.5 turnovers per game. This is his 3rd game of the season. It will be his hardest matchup that he's faced so far. His struggles on offense at the moment make it easy to take his unders here. So under 25.5 points, over 2.5 rebounds, and under 9.5 assists. If you can't read, I just read it out to you. In terms of his rebounds at 2.5, didn't hit it amazingly, that line last year, but he's 1 from 2 so far. Against the Bucks, he has had some success. He's covered this 2.5 rebound line in 5 consecutive games. In terms of assists, honestly, that could go either way, but I did take the unders as his assist numbers against the Bucks. They have declined in more recent games, and that's purely because of the addition of DeJounte Murray. Prior to DeJounte Murray, his assist numbers against the Bucks were quite good. So that's a major change, but that's what I'm looking at. Trae Young, under 25.5 points, over 2.5 rebounds, and under 9.5 assists. So I think there's a little bit of value there. I'm going to hand you over to my boy T in a moment so he can discuss his 2 picks with you. But before we do, just some reminders. Links to T's Telegrams in the description box, and links to my Discord channels also there if you want to come join us. There's a lot more other plays that we put on apart from what we share with you guys on here. Also, I want you guys to utilize the comment section below. Like, tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you like. If you don't like my accent, my voice, the shine on my head, I just want to hear about it. So fill up the comment section. It does help us get found. We want to grow this channel. We're still close to 1,000 subscribers, so help us get there. But without further ado, I bring you to T.
Hey, good evening, Death Previews. It's me, T. I've got a couple of picks here for us tonight. For tomorrow's games. The first one is Dillon Brooks of the Houston Rockets. Now, I'm tipping him to score over 11.5 points. Now, Dillon, he's on a new team, but his role remains the same. He's a starting wing. Really good defender. He takes somewhere between, generally 10 to 15 shots a game. He hasn't played with the highest level of efficiency, but over the past 4 seasons, so since the 2021 season, he's averaging 16 points per game. All right, so pretty decent. He's in a similar role as well on the Rockets, right? So his defense is really good, so it keeps him on the court. And then if he can hit some shots, he'll hit the mark. Also, I played the extended line, but the tip for this tally is over 11.5 points for Dillon Brooks. Our next tip is Fred VanVleet of the Houston Rockets. 20 plus points, 7 plus assists, under 4.5 rebounds with 2 threes. Now, that's a line that Fred hit in a great percentage of games. I'll write it down and I'll send it to Daft, but I got it written down. And he has a really large role on the Rockets in terms of his minutes. Playing around 36 minutes a night so far, and I can see that going forward. He's getting a lot of touches and he's creating a lot of potential assists. I think on the season the number was around 13. So, yeah, pretty good. If he scores 20, he's very likely to hit 2 3-pointers because that's sort of how he does a lot of his scoring is from the perimeter. A little bit inside, but mostly from the perimeter. But, yeah, that's paying $8 over on Bet365. So, if you're following along at home, all the best to us, all right? Catch you later. Bye.
A play that T's talking about, Fred VanVleet, it's full of value. The reason being is you're getting over $8 odds for that play. And that particular line he hit last season at over 22.5%. So looking at those numbers, you should get $3 to $4. So to get double, to get $8 on that brings us tremendous value. But look, that's a wrap on today's video, lads. I'll be back again with T. A nice juicy episode for you, but good luck. Gamble responsibly. Well, you don't have to, but it's just a recommendation. Hit the like button, subscribe, fill up the comment section, jump in the Discord, Telegram. I want to see more of you. I want to hear what you're on. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Good luck.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even